Good evening. We are going to do a little prep on the jalapenos that I harvested today. We are going to rinse them off and get them ready to be stored. So let's get into it. First, you need to knock them all on the floor. Well, thankfully, not all of them. You see anything? Give them a quick rinse, and at the same time, we are checking for bugs or any other damage. I had to throw out about 10 or 15 of them that were bug damaged. A lot of the bug damage is on like one or two of the plants, so maybe some of the plants are just genetically a little better when it comes to pest resistance. I don't know next year when we start to sell. I don't know what the best way is to prep these and get them to a place to sell in a timely manner, because most of my most of my customer base is going to be online, so we have an interesting situation. Not a lot of people around here are into hot peppers, and more specifically, they have no idea what a jalapeno is. It is not a common hot pepper in my rural area. Most of them are what's it called, takenotsume, or itsune, something like that. It's like a hawk claw. Oh, here's one that's got a hole in them. That's why we check. And that's already one bowl full. We'll just move these over to the other side. I'll show you when we're done. I'm just going to get them on a paper towel to get some of that moisture off. So I think if you're going to do this commercially, we're going to need a bigger fridge. I'll wait to buy that until that does cut a hole. Wait to do that until I start a business so that I can expense it properly. You can try to freeze these. I do freeze them for myself. The flavor is still great. They still smell and taste just like wonderful jalapenos, but the texture leaves something to be desired. I'm considering, so just a, yep, not a hole. Considering pickling them for myself, but as far as I know, I'm not allowed to sell them pickled. Or maybe I can, I just can't put them in jars? Like, I need to further research the laws around that. Some of these you can see the bugs tried to get in and failed. Now, since these are all for me, yeah, that probably had a bug in it. These are all for me, maybe presents to my friends who are, you know, not going to be bothered by such a thing. I'm not worried about it, but those definitely would not make the cut for commercial sale. Although my target market is largely foreigners, I might have one in at a Mexican restaurant, but we will have to see about that. It's a friend, a bar owner that we know, that we sometimes go to when we go into the city to spend the night, because can't go anywhere and drive. He said he would definitely do an introduction for me. And then we could see if that actually went anywhere. But other than that, like, largely just foreign online sales to foreigners in Texas and foreigners in Tokyo, and maybe Japanese people that may have lived somewhere like Texas. There we go. Or anywhere in the U.S. these days. You might want them. Not bad. Only 3 bad ones. Dripping all over the floor. Yeah. That's dripping all over the floor again. It's a nice amount. Got a tortilla press. This thing, a dried fruits machine. Oh, we harvested some okra today too. Probably the last of the okra for the year. Well, we're almost there. We're also working on learning how to repair walls in Japan. It's not just the drywall that I would be used to in the US. It's a bit of a different thing. So let's pop this guy open. We have, yeah, and there's that guy. Smaller version of that guy up there. So that I can try to make some pickles. But another thing that I saw online is that some people make chips out of cucumbers. I said, you know what? That sounds like fun. Well, let's try to do that. And I've been wanting to make my own jerky and stuff for a while. And we also had more fruits than we could do anything with. Ooh, don't scratch. Yeah, I scratched. And, okay, that's not bad. Oh, wow, fancy. Yeah. So we'll also do dried fruits next year. Aside from jam and eating them raw. Kabocha squash are still hanging out. That's fine. Yeah, these guys should last for quite a while on the counter here. We're back. The dehydrator, which I have moved to my metal cart for safety. Oh, you can't see most of the trash that I was going to tell you to ignore. That's great. Well, not trash, it's cardboard that's going to get reused, so that's fine. I went to pick up my salt box, and it is barely a box anymore. So I am currently pondering. I don't like to use plastic for anything, but yeah, I think we're gonna have to break out the plastic containers. Put this guy in. Because I only have one ball jar. That's a whole other thing I need to talk about. Layman's out of Ohio used to. Did I talk about this in another video? I don't remember. I wanted to buy a bunch of canning stuff because water bath canning, like proper sealing lids and everything, is just not a thing really in Japan. Layman's out of Ohio used to ship internationally, like basically anywhere. Sometime between when I was initially pricing things out and then now that we've moved, I didn't want to buy it before we moved. They no longer ship overseas. They ship to Puerto Rico. That's as overseas as it gets. I reached out to them. We'll see if they get back, but I'm guessing that's just a no. It's been several days now and no answer, so I'm not hopeful. Maybe. So yeah, trying to get jars, and I only have one that's not in use right now. And I do have a pot and a rack and everything coming from more local suppliers, but they're not as big, not as high quality as I could have gotten, which is a big bummer. Ball jars are also stupidly expensive. In my research, it appears that Ball and Care, I think was the other one, something very similar, were bought by the same company, and they're not that fantastic about creating product and getting it anywhere. They said, go to these websites. One of them, being Amazon, ships to the US. A couple of them you can't even access from overseas. True Value, maybe? It was one of the hardware stores. So that really sucks. I just want to preserve my food. But anyway, enough whinging. Let's see what you can see that isn't just my hand. Can you see this? Yes, you can see that. That's good enough. I need to do some super gluing to my tripod, so please forgive the camera oddities. Is this salt or a chunk of salt? Ooh. Yeah. That's unfortunate. What do you put your salt in when your salt's wet? Oh, I'm glad I picked that size container. It's more in here than I thought. Yeah, the inside of that container is soaked. Well, good thing I noticed it now. I was happy to finally have kosher salt. The salt's pretty much still dry. Do I put my salt in rice? Anyway, I was looking at recipes for cucumber chips. And olive oil and salt, and they did pepper. I'm going to start with some olive oil and salt. Probably a good amount of salt. We'll do one batch that way. And we will I did not think that through. So I was hoping to get these out on a rack, but we'll do one batch that's just salt, and then I'll start getting creative. In Japan, we do nori shio. Nori is the type of seaweed. Seaweed? Oh man, I can talk. Nori is a type of seaweed, and you would know it if you like sushi because it's the one that is used to wrap sushi. And it's quite delicious. So nori shio is a common potato chip flavor in Japan. And I thought, well, we could probably do that if these cucumber chips work out. First I'm going to try one with salt. I'm also going to do some smoked paprika. How thin are those guys? That's probably good. And garlic, and we'll just kind of riff on it. But get these guys going so I can get them started overnight, which is why I moved that to a metal thing, so I don't have to worry about anything. It doesn't seem to be getting too terribly hot. Wow, I'm getting sprayed by juice. These are juicy guys. And that's what I was kind of wondering about this. Like, should we put these on a sheet before we put them in the oil? Well, I guess that's experimentation. We'll see where we end up. Like my left hand that I'm using to hold the mandolin is getting quite wet. Big cucumber. I switched out of this on a bit of a bias on accident. So I should have left one end of this on. Oops. So we're getting some pretty long slices. Some uncooperative slices. And that's all she wrote. So, cucumber 1. don't need my anti-cut glove for this. Oh, I'm getting cucumber seeds all over the place. So that's fun. No fun if you're not making a mess. My knife quick touch. So I'm thinking I should have gone with my instinct and not put these directly into olive oil and salt. That's what I get for kind of hurriedly reading things. But these are some very juicy cucumbers. I'll have to show you outside again soon. I guess I could have put my mic on too. I didn't think about that. Oh well. So yeah, I'm going to work these guys in. Hopefully the salt will draw out a little water, but I've sliced these so thin that any of the ones with seeds, these have become like donuts almost. It smells very olive oily. I'm a little worried about that. But yeah, we'll let that hang out. Breaking news. We bring to you Beetle Cam. Where is he going? What's she doing? Nobody knows. The target has been captured. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a cute cat. Be free. Good morning. Decided it'd probably be a bad idea last night to leave a device I've not really used before running that produces heat in something garden oil. Probably fine. The recipe that I was looking at said some number in Fahrenheit, which is almost 60 degrees C. I forget what exactly it was, which, not super hot. But yeah, I decided it was probably safer. I also noticed that, as expected, a ton of water came out of these things. So I started this morning by getting some drying a little bit. But let's get these put out on a tray. Nice. Sorry, Steve. MRE. Yeah. I think next time I'll do slightly thicker. Maybe. I will salt them before. I will slice them and then immediately salt them, then drain them, then put the olive oil on, and then see where that gets us. I think that'll be a better plan, but I'm going to get the rest of these out onto trays, and we will get them dehydrating. See you soon. Last one going in. These have a top and a bottom. Oh, they do. I just did not care about that, but I somehow oriented them all the same way. Lucky. Power. Timer. 5 hours. At 60 degrees C. Can you see any of that? There she goes. We will see how that works out in a little bit. By a little bit, I mean 5 hours. See you then. Good Wednesday afternoon. It's lunchtime, so try to get a little work done on my break from my main job. Those are going to be carrots. We have our pre-perforated cloth for planting. This is daikon radish, tomorokoshi, corn, lettuce, nado ni. I think it'll be fine for carrots because actually these may be a little far apart. Oh well, I already bought it. I have a smaller one inside that might have different hole spacing. I just now noticed that, but it'll be fine. So we're going to run the tractor across that real quick, just to get everything nice and loosened up and a little more even. I'm probably going to start culling some of these plants. You can see that the volunteer, probably cucumber, are growing extremely rapidly, which is neat. Just what we need, more cucumbers. It'll be great once I have a better system for preservation. But yeah, the eggplants are done. There was one that I was waiting to get bigger, and it actually split all the way through from one side to the middle. So that's not going to work. That okra is probably done producing. It's a really heavy feeder, and I think we've pulled out all the nutrition that we can pull out. The peppers over there, the sweet peppers, I'm going to let hang out for a little bit longer. There's still some peppers on there, but the production has definitely slowed. And then in amongst all of that mess are sweet potatoes, which are just going to get to hang out as they are. There's already a spider web between my car and this camera. That's nuts. Anyway, so I'm going to hop on the tractor and just do a quick smooth that out. We'll be back. And maybe a little prep beforehand. All right, let's take a quick walk. This is my lunch break done. We ran a tractor over here, pulled up a couple of no longer producing plants, put down plastic. Not my favorite thing to do, but what you gonna do? It's what I need to do right now to get something to grow, hopefully. Planted heirloom carrots. I think they're heirloom variety. Yeah. Anyway, not the standard gigantic fat carrots that they have here. Different type. And yeah, that's about it. I was hoping to stake some plants. Not gonna get to that in my lunch break. Oh, got the barbecue out, or the grill out, so that we can grill later. And back to work. Good morning. It's a couple of days later. I was trying to record this, but my camera battery and my backup battery died somehow. I guess I left it on charging or something. I don't know. Anyway, this is a cucumber after the dehydrator. It's okay. The taste is fine. Like nice, decent olive oil, and yeah, I don't know if it's decent. A not terrible olive oil and salt, really good. More trouble than it was worth, absolutely. If I try again, I'll probably do like 5 or 6 mil slices instead of like paper thin, like 1 mil, sub-mil slices. Yeah, they just mostly stick to the grates, even with the olive oil. So if I do it again, and maybe, I don't know. I hate adjusting my mandolin. Thicker slices, do a round of salt in a bowl to just draw out more water ahead of time and work that way. Now, it's supposed to rain later today. I got rained out again yesterday. It's supposed to rain later today, so taking an early lunch, and it's already like 29 degrees outside with 90% humidity, or 88% I guess. And yeah, we'll go try to get some more work done before the rain. It's supposed to rain again this afternoon, so try to beat that afternoon rain. So yeah, that storm is coming right at us. I got the fancy carrots in the ground. By fancy, I just mean long, thin ones that they happen to be different colors, but I don't so much care about that. I'm not actually the biggest fan of Japanese carrots. They're all like super huge, and like that's not always what I want from a cooking perspective, from a texture perspective. So yeah, here's hoping that at least some of those grow. I do have some standard Japanese carrots in there that I'll throw in the ground. But for now, I'm going to try to get things inside before all of that comes this way and makes for a somewhat bad day. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon.